promise, man. You made me stick to the promise, man. You made me, yeah. Stick to the promise, man. You made me.
Ben Yehuda, man.
I will love you the best I can.
Check it. Look, covenant. I'm loving him. Blood of the lamb on the doorpost, covered in. I'm only loyal to one God, one government. Soon as somebody say ungod, I'm cutting them. Pen mighty, sword weary. Thank you for instilling in me a God-fearing. Heart bearing the cross, give me a strong spirit. Edge dweller a few times, I done gone near it. Promises, promises on promises. His promises are forever, care what a diamond says. Either honor your highness or do what Simon says. It's real simple, I'm crippled, just trying to find my legs. Running in this marathon, night shift, day shift, don't shift the paradigm. Why a father gotta beg the court for parent time? It's okay, she gon' fall, Babylon.
Alright, so shalom and assalam ta'ala, Yohanes Manuel, Yefdeyah, Rastafari Renaissance.com, and just to really update a lot of what I've been presenting from a certain time, and of course, you know, seasons, greetings, and always Melkam Adisa Met, Len Kwana de Sachu, to many ones, of course, celebrating our Ethiopian New Year, per Ethiopian calendar year 2010, or 5710 by its calculations, the long count. And it's per the time that I really bring about a lot of the updates I've been working on behind the scenes mostly, and seeing a lot of the comments that come through to not only my channel but other of my constituents, my colleagues, my comrades, so on and so forth, and checking their comments as well. We see that a lot of ones are kind of disgruntled at us for a lot of the things that we choose to speak about as per our Blog Talk Radio platform, our other social media platforms, and the things that we usually speak about at length in certain aspects and subject matters. But it's understandable. I do get why certain ones feel the way that they feel and present their cases the way they do, because they're expecting to get certain things from certain people who, you know, at a given time, you know, especially if they feel that they've supported, or even if they haven't supported, even if they're just, you know, around to, you know, make their own critiques. And of course, as they say, put their own 2 cents in, or, you know, share their opinions and certain, you know, I guess you can say their own facts, if you would say that, to a certain extent. You know, they feel that they have the need to share that for other ones, you know, bids, you know, and this is all, of course, to the whole free speech thing. Certain people have certain things that they would like to say, you know, at any given time. And as per this country that we are in today here in the West, you know, certain ones also feel that that's a necessary motive that they seek to carry out. So I don't feel any type of way about certain things that people say, especially about me and the rest of my comrades, I would say, because they don't see the day-to-day things that we do and that we share behind the scenes. So they don't know what's going on, and in most cases, that's what they're most disgruntled about. That's what they're mostly upset about. They see certain ones here posting, certain ones talking about certain subject matters. If they don't like the subject matter, they'd like to change that and talk about something else. That's fine. You know, certain ones have their own opinion, and, you know, they have the right to their own opinion. So I don't, you know, feel any way. But at the end of the day, you know, certain people have set up certain channels for certain reasons. And if the opinions that are usually coming in have validity to the person who has, of course, become the proprietor of a certain platform, then, you know, those things will be acknowledged. But other than that, of course, there are alternative ways of dealing with certain things. And I would say in most cases, especially pertaining to our particular situation, especially with the Line of Judah Society, the Rastafari Foundation family, so on and so forth, certain ones will have other platforms that we've created, of course, by membership approval, so on and so forth, and ones are free to, enlist to join those certain platforms that we have, as per our, of course, recognition of that, and our own monitoring, certain ones. So we don't, just open up the floodgates for just say anyone, to come and join, with what we've brought forth from such a time. So I personally, I take no offense to what other ones are saying, especially if they're outside of our particular circles, because that's them seeing things from the way they see it. So, that's that. But as far as our own constituency, we have definitely, as per a lot of the comments that have been placed in certain platforms, and certain ones saying how they feel about certain things, that's understandable, and we definitely have taken that into consideration, because we've been working tirelessly to find certain opportunities, find certain platforms, and other spaces, areas of work, training, so on and so forth, certain things to uplift our people within our own constituency. So I personally, taking that all into account, have probably overstretched myself to a certain extent, to where I haven't been as available as I have in the past, and really utilizing a lot of that time to gather certain intel, gather a lot of information, not only on particular areas of expertise, but also within our own fellowship, finding out, or at least as much as I can, finding out how much knowledge certain ones have in certain subjects, or what they would like to, continue, their education in, especially as far as occupation-wise. So that, hasn't been the easiest task to complete, I would say, for, just one person and maybe a few others. But, just speaking to our fellowship, and those, of course, who listen to us, more faithfully, and, have joined many of our other platforms, and all of our, particular groups, we definitely do have a lot of opportunities that are lying in wait. It's just the fact, if ones and ones are ready to take on that responsibility, if ones and ones are ready to take on that level of effort, and we, of course, present these on our own platforms, like, of course, RastafariGroundation.com and .org. So if you are a member of either one of our sites, of course, and everything has been approved as far as, you joining the site, joining the group, and sharing your thoughts and views on certain things, these opportunities have been, in place. It's just a matter of searching them out and seeing, where you fit in certain parts of not only the world, but, particularly your skill set, your mindset, your area of expertise, or, your specialization, so on and so forth. And we'll be presenting a lot more of these economic opportunities, and all of these occupations, which, of course, are still out here in the world today, available and ready to be filled as, spaces of employment, so on and so forth. But we don't, put these things out here for, just everyone to see. Certain ones, of course, who tend to comment or critique, and, show up on certain one's platforms and, just spew as much as they can to, I guess, derive the message, but, whatever. We really seek to, just keep a lot of our things in-house. That's the reason for us setting up, many of the platforms. If we just wanted everyone to know about it, then, we just throw it out there. But as far as, a lot of things that we have going on in-house, we definitely tend to keep it that way. So, ones may feel upset about that, but at the end of the day, it's, just like within your family, you don't share everything that's going on within your own particular family, even if it's, some detrimental things that are going on or some great things that are going on. Everything just doesn't get thrown out there into the street. So, I guess you can say that this might have been, what they say, a rant or so on and so forth. I wouldn't call it a rant. I really just throw this out there for certain ones, especially of our own fellowship, to be aware of. And, of course, utilize our sites and our platforms and all of these other particular nuances of what we've created in certain spaces, to your benefit, because we have, so much of it, stocked up from such a time that, we can just go through pages and pages and pages of information of things that we've shared, from over the years, and ones definitely can take advantage of all of this. That's why we continuously, share and work in this way, so that, ones at least can become, aware of certain things that are out here lying in wait for them. But, as we mentioned, that we'll have a lot more information to be shared, and also, of course, within our own particular mailing list, we'll be sharing a lot more of our private vids that we've had stocked up for, I don't know how long. And just seeing that, we have so many other ones that are interested in certain things, is that, we'll tend to share those. And, of course, they won't be out here in the open air market on, the social media outlets that we usually post on. We usually keep these things in-house in our own files. This is why, we have certain ones, of course, amongst us who always say, back up those files, save those important topics with a lot of information, so we'll have that for further reference. That's the whole reason for, going through this entirety of, and just tirelessly working on certain things, even into the wee hours of the morning many times, with, hardly any rest, any sleep. It's still working, still, because we know that we have so many ones that are in need of the information. So, as ones continue to come into the fold, you'll start to see a lot more of this information get shared. And, of course, if you are plugged into our particular platforms, and, you'll be able to take advantage. So that's pretty much it. There's not too much more to say on that. But, I understand, why certain, critics and other ones, scoffers, mourners, and naysayers, say the things that they say, because they just don't know what we have going on. And if they don't know, then clearly, it's nothing going on. So that's their opinion. Hey, that's fine. But other than that, for ones, of course, of our own, faction, be sure to, inquire. We really don't even know what ones are good at, or, what they would like to search out as far as an occupation or job, or, a habit to be honing for their own skill set, until, they speak up. And ones usually are, pretty silent on certain things. And we always, leave the door open for ones to ask questions, whether we're on the Blog Talk Radio or we're, on our platforms, just throwing out some information here or there. But, we have the documents, we have the files, but we don't know, where certain things should go. We don't know who to send them to, so that it can be best utilized in the best form possible. So unless one speak up, you'll never be able to take advantage of those opportunities. So, for our own fellowship, our own ones who are within the fold, be sure to, speak up. If you have a question about certain things, throw it out there. I love that, Brother Obadiah, he always tends to inquire a lot about certain things. Other ones like, when Patrick also mentions a lot of things, and we're, of course, seeking to get that brother replugged into a lot of our platforms. Also, Wyndham Amir, just ones I can name, so many ones who really, are serious, about getting certain things done. And we've seen it, within the fruit of their own labors, without, even inquiring on certain things. They've just jumped in, feet first without even, So I appreciate certain ones like that, because I definitely had, certain stouts, of having those type of feelings as well. It just, not ready to wait too much. Let's get to it. Let's get to work. Let's get some things done and move on to the next project. So that's pretty much how, we view certain things on certain matters, and we appreciate when we see that amongst our own who are within the fold as well, and going through those type of situations every now and then. It's refreshing, I would say that. But a lot more updates to come, a lot more vids to come. As we mentioned, we'll have a lot more of our private videos. We'll have a lot of our secret recordings, a lot of other things that we have stored up. We'll be sharing those, of course, on RastafariGroundation.com and .org. And, of course, be sure to get plugged in if you are not. And to all of our fellowship, those who continue to share within the fold, just look out for that. We'll, be going at a much more rapid pace, moving forward. A lot of things, that we intended to share, but, at this point, without so many ones stepping up to say, hey, well, what about this? And I have a question about that. And, well, what do you know about this? Or who can you point me to within this particular industry? We'll be sharing a lot more of that moving forward, and regardless of whether it fits the whole fold or not. So be sure to check, of course, your mail and other notifications that you may receive. We'll be sending these out a lot more often at this point. We have been intending to utilize a lot of our list from such a time. I've spoken to the Rebbe numerous times on that, and him revitalizing a lot of our older mailer lists, and just plugging them into a lot of our updated lists, which we've had just over the few short span of months. So we'll share a lot more information just moving forward, and one should stay on top of that, because maybe what you're looking for will be within a particular presentation or a particular a free shareware document, or whatever we may have as far as the files go. And who knows if that will be your niche. Just find out what works for you. Stick to it, work hard at it, and we'll see the fruit to come.